Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nurkalisha binti Muhammad Sazali from Sekolah Kebangsaan Bumiputera in Lundu district. I am 11 years old and I will be representing my school for Pertandingan Bicara Buku 2023. My hobbies are reading fiction book and singing. Walt Disney once said, "Every child is born blessed with vivid imagination." As for me, I enjoy having imagination that is not in my reality because it allows me to experience the scenarios depicted in a story. That's why fiction books are my top book choices to read. Today, I'm going to share about the book that I have read entitled Bawang Merah, Bawang Putih. I am certain that most of us have heard of this legendary folk tale. I have read both the English and Malay versions. Written by Filzah Ibrahim and illustrated by Ahmad Khalil Mustafa, the book Bawang Merah Bawang Putih consists of 24 pages. Allow me to give a brief introduction of the author. Filzah Ibrahim is one of the members of Perancangan Bahasa from Bahagian Pengembangan Kesusasteraan Kanak-kanak in Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka. She also wrote a non-fiction book entitled Meneroka Matahari in 2016, which received an award in Anugerah Buku Negara 2016 under kategori Buku Kanak-kanak Astronomi Terbaik. Now, let's hear what the story of Bawang Merah Bawang Putih is about. Long time ago, a girl named Bawang Merah lived with her stepmother, Mak Sena, and her stepsister, Bawang Putih. They disliked Bawang Merah and treated her like a servant. She did all the household chores for them. I sympathized her because of the unfair treatment from her own family. One morning, while Bawang Merah was doing laundry near a well, she saw a wriggling gurami on the ground. She helped saving the fish out of kindness and put it in the well so that the fish can swim freely. It made her happy to help the poor fish. From that moment, she always went to the well to play with the gurami. At times, she would also sing while feeding it. Bawang Merah frequent secret visit to the well during the day had built suspicion from Mak Sena and Bawang Putih. They started to investigate her sudden disappearance and eventually found out that Bawang Merah was always playing with the gurami. Out of shock and anger, Mak Sena decided to cook the fish and feed it to Bawang Merah. Of course, it brought joy to Bawang Merah because she rarely gets to eat delicious food. That night, however, she dreamed about her mother. Her mother told her everything and asked her to bury the gurami bones near the well. Mak Sena and her daughter, Bawang Putih, were searching for a chestnut in the forest when they heard Bawang Merah singing nearby. Mak Sena was enraged and pulled Bawang Merah off the swing. Little did they know, a prince and his troop of warriors were nearby too. The prince also heard Bawang Merah's singing and was pleased by the sweet sound, so he went to look for the voice. The prince appeared before the three ladies and asked them about it. Mak Sena smugly told him that the voice belonged to Bawang Putih. But the prince was not convinced and commanded her to sing. The swing did not move an inch, and the prince was not happy to hear her disastrous voice. He then turned to Bawang Merah and commanded her to do the same. The swing automatically swung back and forth as she started singing happily. The prince was satisfied to find the true source of the sweet voice he had heard earlier. He was angry at Mak Sena and Bawang Putih for lying, but Bawang Merah asked him to forgive them. The prince gave her an ultimatum: she could either marry him or he will not let her stepmother and stepsister be free. Bawang Merah then agreed to marry the prince. My favorite character is of course Bawang Merah. I admire her kindness and humility. She is the embodiment of purity, a pure-hearted person. Not once did she ever complain about her stepmother and stepsister despite the way she was treated. She still loved them no matter what. I would love to have those values in myself. From this story, I would also like to highlight some of the moral values that related to our life. First, respect. To have respect is to treat other people with courtesy and consideration. When we respect someone, we tend to treat them well and not have a bad perception towards them. We also avoid doing anything that might hurt or offend them. Bawang merah, for example, still respect her stepmother and stepsister even though they mistreated her. 2. Forgiveness. Remember how Bawang Merah asked the prince to forgive Mak Sena and Bawang Putih despite what they did to her. It is an exceptional quality that I admire in her. I cannot imagine how I would react if I were in her shoes. Forgiveness does not mean you must be friends with the person who has wronged you. Forgiveness is when you let go of anger and resentment to find peace within yourself. Before I end my talk, I highly recommend this book for those who love reading Malay fiction. The language is easy to understand and the scenes are illustrated beautifully. Another plus point is its affordable price at 15 ringgit for a student like me and you. It would only take a few minutes of your day to read this book. I think I have shared enough in my talk today. Thank you for being attentive and have a pleasant day.